And welcome to week 2. Here we go. So for this week, you only have one lecture. There are no textbook chapters. However, I would definitely recommend moving on to week 3 as soon as you're done with lecture 2. So for lecture 2, what you're doing is you're going through part 1, 2, 3, and 4 to respond to this essay prompt right here. Define and discuss while providing examples of salutary neglect. Be sure to discuss salutary neglect's significance in American history. Also, discuss the Treaty of Paris of 1763 and show how and why this treaty had a profound impact on salutary neglect and hence the relationship between England and its colonies. So, a couple of things here to keep in mind about salutary neglect. One, you want to keep in mind the definition. And the definition is found right here in the beginning of in part 1 of this lecture, right? The definition of salutary neglect is Great Britain's unintended policy to allow its American colonies to develop independently, politically, socially, economically. Salutary neglect occurred in 3 time periods and can be broken down in 3 phases. So go through these 3 phases as well in part of your definition. Right. And then salutary neglect moves into an example of, here's an example actually of salutary neglect, Puritanism between 1620 and 1686. And the next couple of parts also go into Puritanism as well. So go through this to provide examples of how salutary neglect in particular allowed the colonies to develop independently from Great Britain. That's what's significant about this concept and very helpful understanding how the American Revolution is going to occur. The roots of the American Revolutionary War go all the way back to, well, really 1608 with the founding of Jamestown, right? Jamestown is a colony that is not very much is not really the focus of Great Britain. It's chartered by Great Britain, but as evidence that they are governing themselves, you have the House of Burgesses. So that's an example of salutary neglect. So find the examples too within this lecture. You can look at the example of Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson as well as how that sense of independence made itself obvious through these religious leaders, Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson. Right? This would have never have happened in Great Britain, but given the context of the environment of the American colonies, coupled with the fact that Great Britain was not able to focus on its colonies, these two individuals were able to rise to the occasion within their respected colonies. So check for the details within these videos. They'll be very helpful in constructing your essay. And when you're done with all 4 parts of the lecture, you're going to post a discussion. The discussion prompt will be available right underneath here. It's not here yet because I'm still prepping it, but it will be available right here for you. It'll have something to do with slavery. So you definitely want to use examples and refer only to the textbook and refer only to the lectures. No outside sources, please, in your discussions or in your preparation for the exams. And while I'm at it, the function of these lectures is to prepare you for the exam. So keep that in mind. When exam 1 comes, you will have had 3 lectures that you have gone through and prepared. You will have had the lecture on slavery, salutary neglect, and the American Revolution. 2 of those essay prompts will be randomly selected from the 3 essay prompts. Right, so one of them, in other words, will not be selected, but you will not know until you click begin. So you want to have each essay prompt prepared for when you click begin, so you can type in your response to the essay prompt when it appears in your exam window. Right, and we'll make that the extra credit question. What will be on exam 1, and how many of those essay prompts will be selected? So again, you will have the 3 essays for the first 3 lectures, one on slavery, one on salutary neglect, and one on the American Revolution. So you want to have all of those prepped for exam 1 when you click begin. So make sure you're preparing now and practicing writing your essay so you're very familiar with it during the exam, so you will not run out of time when you're doing the exam. Okay, that's all I have for you, and I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.